Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. Conversations that cool. Kitchen talk. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. Conversations that cool. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk. What you wanna talk about?
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, y'all. Yes. Every time I hear a new jam, I be like grooving.
Yeah, I like the new one, but I ain't gonna tell no story. I like the old one too.
You like? I like the old one too, but you
Yeah.
know this one's it's like grown folks
Yeah.
vibe.
That one had a vibe of okay, I'm sitting down drinking a glass of wine. We just gonna chill.
Yes.
Not like I drink wine, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
If I was to.
All right. Kitty Style, CTC.
Conversations that cook.
You do it for me every time, Marvin. I love it. We are super excited to be here tonight. Another night in the kitchen. Oh my goodness. I am like over the top excited because y'all know we started this new year with 100 shows.
Good going.
Hercules.
Okay.
That's my baby.
Rocking it. I loved it. When I counted them, I was like, wait a minute, we had 100. And we started off the year with 100 shows. So excited. Started off the year with our new theme song, still written by Michael Joy Barrington. Written and produced by her. I love it. I love talented people. When I tell them, when I say, this is what I'm feeling, and they catch it, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So she definitely rocks. We love that. So, sending love and light out to France who won't be with us tonight. JT is probably gonna pop in at some point, but here rocking it with me is we might as well just go ahead and make him our other official co-host, Dr. Marvin Scott.
What's going on? I'm ready to talk.
I know you are, because we was trying to end the show last week, and you got Auntie V, I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to shut the show down. And he said, oh, we talking about Texas? I'm like, oh my God. Marvin, we got to close this show out. He just talking.
Okay.
So we have with us tonight, I call her Auntie V. This is Valencia Cain. She is the owner of Jack and Dot's
Taxes and accounting, whatever you want to call
it. Taxes and accounting, Jack and Dot. And accounting. It's Auntie V to me.
That's true.
Y'all, yeah, here go my stuff. So she is gonna talk with us tonight. Oh, also let's do this right here. Congratulations. Auntie V just walked across the stage with her MBA. Yes. I think she's in pursuit of the PhD now.
She is.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna leave that for the young people.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
I know.
I'm the oldest.
I know.
I need mine done before I'm 60. So.
Well, I am very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you. The sky is the limit.
Amen.
And I know you can touch it. So I have no doubt.
I will. If I can, I'm going to show try.
It's going to get done. Just let me know when graduation is so I can come with it. Try to do this one a little closer so we can go.
I know. But Missouri was nice.
It was good weather the first couple of days.
I'm
Oh,
about to say,
okay.
Graduation day, it was so cold you couldn't breathe.
Oh Lord.
You couldn't even take pictures. It was cold.
yeah.
Oh wow.
You had to go in, get out, and get back to a car. That's all you could do. It was cold.
You got a 30-second rule.
That
Or
was
1
it.
minute.
That
Yeah,
was
30
all
seconds.
you had.
Yeah.
A minute you would have froze cold as it was.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah. Can we do this one? Even if you take this one tropical, we need
That'd be nice too, huh?
yeah. We
I'll
have
work
to
on that. Work on
yeah,
that.
thank you. So we can come hang out for that one. All right. So tonight, just before we get to that too, let me make this announcement. So Kitchen Talk is doing something a little new. We are kind of book clubbing it. So we have our first book that we are reading. It is called, let me see if I can find it. Jamal, can you find it? The book pick. Um investigation.
Internal investigation.
Internal investigation.
A
A
journey.
journey into the soul.
Yeah.
Internal investigation. A journey into the soul. Jamal, I think it's under the brand. It might be under the brand. So it was written by this really, really great guy. Thank you, Dr. Marvin Scott. So we will be here with the author. We'll give you a date certain real soon, but you can purchase the book. Thank you, Jamal, on Amazon. I think that's the only place you can purchase it at this point. Is that right?
Yeah.
On Amazon, go on Amazon, purchase the book, read with us, and then come join us for the conversation with the author. And then if you have a book that you would like for us to read in our as we're book clubbing it, let us know. Reach out, social media, and or kitchen talk ctc at gmail.com, and then we'll take a look at it and see if that's our next book. But that's the first one. So that is what is new in 2022. Can y'all believe that?
Yeah.
I
Time moving.
remember when Prince wrote Party Like It's 1999. And we
Right.
was like, who gonna be here in 1999?
Now, you know, surpassed
2000
that.
party over out of
Right,
time.
right. We thought we was gonna be done talking 1999, and here we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah, but
2022.
so what that was, it was 2000 party over out of time, but it was my bacon smelling fine.
Okay, and the craziness begins. All right, so we're gonna jump into these taxes. Like,
Yes.
where is my refund? I need my money.
Your refund in that correctly filed tax return if you do one correctly. Now. We're going to keep saying correctly. You're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear correctly a lot.
filed.
You're going to
I
hear
hear you.
correctly a lot. Basically, because according to the IRS right now, there are going to be at least 400,000 audits to hit the street. A whole bunch of them. So if you breathe wrong, you may get an audit. It's just that simple right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing you can actually do is file the best, accurate, correctly filed tax return you could do this year. This is my personal opinion now. This part is just my opinion. I've been in this industry 22 years. The government did not give away all this money not to recollect it somehow. And how is by people doing incorrect tax returns. Because if you do an incorrect one, they do have the choice to give you penalties and interest, erroneous filing, and the fees just keep going. Now they're also assessing the tax preparer up to $2,000 for your mistakes. You pay, I pay.
Oh, wow.
So they got to get the money back. They didn't give away all this money just because we was cute. They got to get it back. So another thing that people don't get is that when they pay you and you know you did wrong, they know they paid you and they know you were wrong. but they cannot collect penalties and interest and erroneous filing and all of that stuff unless they pay you. So they got to issue out the money first and then recoup it with all the penalties they want to add to it. That's how they
Oh
recoup it.
wow.
Because if they
So why
stop,
don't
they
they?
die.
So they don't catch it before they pay you?
Sometimes, yeah, they know it. But how they gonna make money if they stop it?
No,
Oh,
that's dirty. So they
that
trying to take it
They
riding
gotta
dirty.
pay it in order to be able to come back and collect something from somebody. Because if I stop it, we made no money.
mm,
But if I pay you, I'm gonna get you for erroneous filing. I'm gonna get you for penalties and interest on every unpaid dollar per day until it's paid back.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, I started out with $300, now it's 3,000," oh yeah, in 12 months it's 3,000 because the penalties grow. Right now they at 3% a day.
Mm. Ooh, you know what? I was excited about talking to her, but right now, can we?
It only
I,
gets better, Doc. It
hey,
only gets
look,
better.
I'm gonna put my church finger up like this right here. And I'm gonna excuse myself.
Doc, it only gets better. It only gets better. But that's the
oh,
downside of taxes, and that's the side that people need to learn not to do because that's really the bad side to it.
Mhm.
But how many people you know have done something that they should not have done and say, "Oh, I got away with it"?
mm,
I don't know anybody like that.
You don't know about it like that.
I don't know
3 years
any.
later, they get an audit letter. Then they mad. But you know, 3
mm.
years ago you did the wrong. I mean, you
I
paid the
don't
piper
know
at some
anybody
point.
like that.
So why even try it? Like I'm this kind of person. Like one time my check was over, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, supervisor, this right here ain't right. And my supervisor was like, well, what you tripping about? Well, first of all, this ain't right. Second of all, when y'all realize it ain't right, y'all gonna come get y'all money at a time that I need my money.
Absolutely.
So y'all need to fix this now. Cause I don't need you coming back when I got to pay my rent and y'all
Mhm.
realize y'all done made a mistake and come get that money back.
Fan, you financial aid has taught you well.
Well, no, that was well, no, not really, because I didn't. That was before I went to college.
Oh,
So
okay.
this was no, this was another job. I'm like, no, 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 y'all need to come fix this, cause I don't need y'all coming to get this money back when I need my money, cause y'all gonna
Mhm.
find it eventually,
But
and you
Lisa, how
gonna
many
find it
people
on that time when I'm tight.
you need it the most? But how many people
Mhm.
think like you?
Not many.
Yeah,
They
not
look at
many.
that as an opportunity to get over at that time.
Yes, they look at it and they call it a blessing.
That I have heard that. I have heard that. You
Yeah,
know you're not supposed to have gotten paid. Oh, this is a blessing from the Lord. No, it's a mistake.
it's a mistake by somebody, but it wasn't a blessing from the Lord.
And get it
Mhm.
fixed because you're gonna have to pay that money
You're gonna
back.
pay it back.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They gonna get it back.
yeah, you are.
Mm. So
So let's.
Auntie V, would you suggest that people actually do their filing with a company or on their
I
own?
would. This year, a lot of people just cheap and don't like to pay for service. I also suggest people be aware of who's doing your taxes. I don't think you should just go to anybody. I think you should feel that person out. I think you should have a rapport and a relationship with that person. I think you should use your gut instinct, what it tells you when you walk in there.
Mhm.
If you walk into a place and you're not comfortable or you see people complaining and that, take your stuff and run.
Mm,
We are not allowed to hold your information hostage. The government says for free, we must give you gave it to us for free, we got to give it back to you for free. So what I see a lot of people do is say, "Oh, I've already looked at it. That's $100." That's really against the rules.
mm,
You didn't give me 100 to take it. I can't get
Mm.
ask you for 100 to give it back.
mm.
But
Mm.
yes, people do all kinds of whatever they want to do. But I do think this is a year that I call the COVID year because there's about 2,000 laws this year, the most ever has been.
Wow.
And that's a lot of laws to worry about. Now,
Yeah.
typically for the normal person, It's probably 15 of them apply to most people. But what people don't get is that no two laws applies to the same person the same way at the same time. I don't care if you work to the same job. I don't care if you have the same amount of children.
Mm,
I don't care. There's no two gonna ever be the same.
mm,
Wow.
wow.
So
So
that's
so
why you really got to know who you're working with too.
yeah. So what about those individuals who like like use those software like Tax Cut or stuff like that, TurboTax?
Though some of those are good and some of those are not, because a lot of times when you have to do additional forms, you really have to pay for the upgrade. And what people don't get is that if they don't pay for the upgrade, they don't get all the forms they need. So they
Mm,
doing a base return based on base life, and their life is not base anymore.
I got you.
So if you got mortgage, interest, and all that, a normal freebie don't give you any of that. You got to
Mm,
pay for the upgrade to get that.
right. Okay.
And that's what people don't get. They just do it based on, oh, well, I didn't do it because it wasn't there. Well, it might have been good for you to do, but you did not understand that you had to actually upgrade to do it. And that's just being cheap.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you another question because I'm thinking about like the times that we live in now. You have more and more people who are understanding entrepreneurship, wanting to get into business for themselves, wanting to get into investment properties, those types of things. So I guess first thing is starting with say you got a young person who's just buying some investment property. What's some of the I guess some of the some advice or some thoughts, some things they should take into account. What they should, I guess, kind of, forms that they need to think about when they buy an investment property or whatever.
Well, not so much as the investment property, but the business itself. In order to be in business, the people really need to learn and understand what type of business they're going to operate. They need to really know something about it. They need not to keep operating businesses or starting businesses because Joe Blow Brown around the corner say it's a good money maker.
Mhm.
When I say that, you got to know what direction you want to take that business in, how fast you want to take it in that direction, what your end result going to be, how much money you want to make. They need business coaching and counseling before they really get into these businesses, because the man around the corner been doing it 20 years and he a millionaire. Well, that's not your dream. First of all, you only doing it because you saw him do it. He did it because it was his dream. So he invested his time, his effort, and everything into that. You just want to piggyback off of somebody else, and it's not going to work the same for you. So when you get into any business, you really need to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, number one, and how you're going to operate it. When it comes to taxes, you also need to know what is beneficial, what you can write off, what you can't, and stop following these dreams. Everybody's taught to do an LLC. Not necessarily the best thing to do.
Okay.
Everybody
That was
created an LLC and then they file a Schedule C on the tax return. Well, heck, what you create an LLC for? That's a corporation. Now, the Schedule C is a sole proprietorship. Did we just do two different things?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference tax wise between an LLC and the other thing I hear out there is switching from an LLC to an S corp? Can
Yes.
you talk about the difference between those?
Yeah. So a LLC is truly a limited liability corporation. The dynamics of that is actually changing at this point, and it's converting more towards an S corp that you just talked about. But the tax forms are absolutely different. So an LLC typically files a form 1120. That means that all of the profit and or loss stays directly with the company. So for example, let's say you make $20,000 a year in this business. You have $15,000 worth of expenses. You're going to pay taxes on that $5,000 that's left over.
Mm,
Only thing the government is concerned about is how they're going to tax you and where they're going to tax you at. Now, it's your job as the tax preparer and the tax, the person who owns this business to know what you're working with. So
mm,
if you got to pay the $5,000 worth of taxes, you're going to pay it to the Department of Corporations because that's where that stays at. It doesn't move to you at all. It never goes to your federal tax return. Now, the S Corp actually does. It's the 1120S. That's the S Corp version. But the same 20,000, 15,000, the 5,000 is left over is going to be taxed in your federal tax return. It rolls from the corporation by way of a K1 to the federal tax return and has to be taxed over there. Everything gonna be taxed somewhere. Just where is the question?
Mm-hmm.
Now, typically, the people who do 1120, because they don't have children, they don't have any of that to go, and everything for the company, they want to completely stay separate from them. So they do an 1120. People that typically do an 1120S have dependent children, because that 5,000 I just rolled over here, I'm gonna get me some earned income credit on that.
Mm.
So that's why they roll them, and that's typically who do them. Now, here's the part to that. Whatever you start out with, you cannot change. The only thing you could change from is a Schedule C to a corporation. But you can't flip back and forth every year to suit yourself.
Mm.
You file them taxes, you filing them. That's what it is. You don't get to change any of that. Now, you could close the corporation and then go to a Schedule C, but you don't get to change every year just because that what you did last year don't benefit you this year and something else going to benefit you next year. No, you don't get to flip and flop. Did that answer your question?
Some of it. We got some more.
What part we missed?
Listen, we got you for an hour. So
I mean, we might as well get it in while you got me.
Get it in while we got you.
Might as well get it in while you got me.
So let me ask you, I got a question here in the chat. Was the private chat. So here we go. Is there a dollar limit to the amount of money you made in a year to file in taxes? For example, if you have a side job and only made $1,500 that year, do you have to file that in taxes?
There's a yes and a no, and I'm gonna answer both sides.
Okay.
The legal way is yes. So let's do it the opposite way. Everything has an age and a threshold. If this person is over 25 years old, they should file that in taxes. Yes. Because what they don't realize is that even at 25 with the 1,500, they're entitled to earned income credit. If they don't file, they're letting the government keep their money. Right? So that's why I say a yes and a no. If it's a high school student, then you may not worry about that so much, because you don't qualify for earned income credit until you become 25 years old. So everything has a threshold and yes, a money amount. But when I heard you say side job, that sounds like you also have a full-time job to go with it. And if you do, yes, all of it has to be filed. You don't get to leave off parts because you don't want that part accounted for, because you're going to call yourself the biggest audit in the world. And now they can go back at least 10 years and audit. And once they start, you just under the gun.
Lord have mercy.
This tax thing is something else.
Yeah.
Hey, France.
It's just following the rules. You just got to follow them. And you got to know the laws and stuff that really benefits each person. So a lot of times I ask people a lot of questions. Some people say, oh, you being nosy. Okay, well, hell, I can't do nothing for you if I'm nosy. But people don't get it. I don't remember your stuff when you leave here because I do too many people. So I can't, unless I go back and open up your junk, and I can't because I got it where it locks. Every time I e-file a tax return, it locks. It's done.
Yeah.
It don't let me just go back and play with your stuff no more. No.
Yeah. I'm with France on that. Well, going back 10 years, good Lord. Have mercy.
And I have seen it done.
Yeah. So let me ask this question here again. So we're talking about, you got an S corp and you got the LLC. Now, I was looking at something. An LLC, anytime you take money out of LLC, is that considered dividends or?
It depends on LLC. You could pay yourself with a W-2. You could pay yourself with a 1099. The only thing you can't, like a 1065, a partnership, you cannot get a W-2 from a partnership. You cannot get a 1099. No partner can receive any kind of income or salary. Everything else you can. You can receive an income or salary. You could take, let's say, Marvin, you own a company. Let's say you own a paint company right now, right? Okay. Now this is your sole income. You making $200,000 a year by going around doing commercial painting, right? Now, Marvin says, I need some income for me. What you do is you take that same company and you pay yourself a salary. You could pay your Social Security, federal withholding, and Medicare taxes. And at the end of the year, get a W-2 So when you file your federal tax return, now Marvin has a W-2 to file that with. Even though you own the company, you can do that. Another part that people don't get is that if you become a W-2 employee of your own company, like when COVID hit, you were able to draw unemployment off your own company.
Wow.
Glory. I need to talk to you. we should have did this show here. But yeah, hamburger. Glory.
Yes, I had all my people, like I do a lot of truckers, and they were young guys. Everybody getting these 1099s, nobody worry about it. Look, when you get Social Security age, you're not going to have anything in because you haven't put anything in. So this is what we're going to do for you. You're going to start drawing a salary from your own company. When COVID hit, I made everybody draw unemployment off their money. They're already paying into it. It's just sitting there. Why let it sit? Take your money back. You put it in.
Glory. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on what you want to do. That's why I say people need to know what direction they're taking their business in, how they're going to take it. If you can tell me your direction, I can tell you what to do with it. But if you tell me you don't know, we don't have nothing to talk about.
What can you? Well, I guess the question becomes: you giving them information? Can you help them to identify which direction they need to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I do that by asking them questions. If you can answer my questions, I can tell you what the best choice would be for you, and this is why I think it is. Now, my question to you is: do you agree with me?
You don't have no choice.
Yeah, that's what the person has to do. They have to know whether this is the direction they really want to go in. So I tell you, this is what I think. And then this is why I think it. I do a lot of this is why. When I talk to people, it's a lot of this is why. I tell you the answer and I tell you this is why. So you need to know why it's doing what it's doing.
So friends want to know, how do you find out how much you have in? I'm assuming that's with the
on Social Security?
Or unemployment, if you're paying unemployment.
If you pay an unemployment on your company, you get a quarterly report. Like whoever do your payroll give you a quarterly report on what you're paying in every quarter. So you know what's sitting in the bucket. And then because company matches, self-employed companies do the same thing as any big company do. You know how you paying taxes out yours and they tell you the company's matching a portion of that? They do the same thing. Anybody drawing a W-2 do the same thing. Florida, we only have 941s and RT6s, which is the unemployment. In Tallahassee, the unemployment runs straight through that. We do the reports every quarter. You pay your bills, and the money just sitting there until you get ready to use it. Till you need to use it, technically, with unemployment.
And then that's the same with how you find out about what you paid in as far as Social Security and
call Social Security. Now they're giving you the online access to be able to look at your own. They used to send you a letter every year and tell you what was in. I haven't seen that in a minute, but now you could actually create your own Social Security account and look at your own life.
Oh,
yeah. Everything is going pretty virtual with that. IRS is going virtual with the new ID.me account. Unemployment compensation, when you apply for it, now they have a new ID.me account. They trying to cut out a lot of identity theft because it's real big. It's real bad. Marvin, you all right?
You got me thinking. I'm okay.
I see.
So friends say how much for a one-on-one with Auntie V?
Hey, get out my head, friends,
125, friends. 125. 125.
125. Book my appointment now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of this stuff on our list.
Yes. Let's get to some of that. Go ahead.
We'll start with our child tax credit. Child tax credit is the big thing this year. One of the big things. It's not the biggest, but it's one of the big things. The good thing about it this year, it is considered a refundable credit. Any credit we get that's considered refundable means it gives you dollar for dollar on a tax return. Okay. Back in the day, last year, child tax credit was $2,000 per child. Joe decided to make it $3,000 a child. Then they decided to give these people this money every month for 6 months. Useless. Don't get it to them. They need it. But anyway, that ain't my argument right now. They didn't need that. So the child tax credit says that it is a payback. It was not a gift. It was truly a loan against your next year's tax return. So, do it count as you as income? No, it's not an income like that, but you will pay it back within the tax return. You will not pay it back dollar for dollar because you will not get a letter from the IRS to say you owe us some money. You won't pay it back like that. It can only be paid back in the tax return. So the best thing the government did this year was did a 6419 form that gives you exactly how much money they gave you. You must have it to file your taxes, because if you don't, that audit letter is coming. You're going to be one of them large numbers of people, that audit letter coming. Because if you do not put it on your tax return, it's going to slow up whether or not you even get that money, because now they got to audit you. They got to verify they didn't pay you, because on your tax return says, I got 2 kids. It says $6,000. Well, you already got $3,000 in advance. Because you didn't tell them you got the advance portion, you put the whole 6 on there. Your intentions are to get an additional $3,000 from the government, with $6,000 on tax return, and they're not going to give it to you like that. They may pay you so they can audit you. They may pay you so they can ask you for penalties and interest back. That's how they're going to get you.
Wow.
So doing the best accurate tax return you could do, don't lie on that stuff, y'all. Just don't do it. If you a crook, this ain't a year to be one.
Got to be more careful. Hamburger.
Don't be a crook this year. That's
no. Wait to 2026, because it ain't over yet. 2023, we're gonna have some problems. In 2025, we're gonna have some. I'm telling y'all early, so when you see it, you already know it's coming.
What's coming in 2023? The way you say it like that, Lord have mercy.
Because this collection of money is gonna hit us harder next year. Because our previous president really put these rules in place to 2025 with the intent that he would have been reelected. So we would have had all this stuff already in place. When the new president came in, he tried to revamp and change a lot of stuff. A lot of things he couldn't change. That he could, he did. So he's still trying to give out money because people say they need it. So he's giving it away. Only to some people. Now everybody ain't getting that money. Big business gonna get a lot of breaks. Companies that make $250,000 and above gonna get breaks, and these people with insurance gonna get a lot of breaks.
But the same middle class people
not gonna get the breaks.
They haven't got break in it.
No. They giving them a few. If they got like the middle class that has people with childcare, they're gonna get some breaks this year, because now childcare is giving 50% credit.
Bye.
Friends, we understand what, baby, they not giving. I'm in that list too. I don't get the breaks. So
that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it always has been, though.
Middle class pretty much supports the nation. The middle class pays most of your taxes because they can't afford, to have all these loopholes to avoid paying taxes. And then they make more money than the lower class. So the lower class gets credit and gets, refunds. The middle class, they hey, listen.
Yeah, you're right. Because this child tax credit thing just gave you something to borrow against your tax return for the previous year. If you had not taken it, you would have gotten a complete $6,000 plus whatever you was entitled to, $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 refund. You'd have been better off. Because you could do more with a lump sum than you can with that $250 a month you really didn't need. You were still working. It was giving you free food stamps in most cases. Yeah, that's the backbone of America. You're right. It just it wasn't doing, so that's the biggest thing that people with dependent children have to look forward to. I'm just glad they gave them a form that identifies it. So when they do go to a tax office to try to do it themselves, they can use the right number, and it will not delay them if they use the right number. Now, if they use the wrong numbers, delay is on the way.
Yeah,
it's gonna hold them up forever. There's just some things people don't do. Healthcare is the next thing. Healthcare is one of those things that It's good if you use it right, but people need to learn how to use it.
Mm.
And that's one of the problems we have. And I've seen healthcare do a million things. I use mine a lot different from most people because I make mine give me a refund. Now y'all trying to
You
figure
get
out
a
how
refund from insurance company?
y'all trying to figure out how I just said that, didn't you? Both of y'all.
Yeah, I heard that, and I'm like, wait a minute. In my mind, I'm like, okay,
Okay. All
who
right.
she
So
getting a refund
this is
from?
the healthcare
That's
marketplace
right.
insurance.
Right. You ready, Marvin? Here you
Yes,
go.
ma'am. Okay,
You
I'm
ready?
ready.
Okay. You know you have to get healthcare based on your income, right? The lowest cap really is 19.5. I've studied this for many years to get this right. On 19.5, they give you, let's say, $785 per month to pay for your insurance, right? So this is what I do. I only use $685 of my money. I pay my little $50 a month or whatever on my insurance, and I keep rolling. So when I file my taxes and I get my little 1095A and I put the numbers on that they got, because I did not use all of my premium tax credit, it becomes a part of my refund. They got to give it back to me. They owed it to me.
You're bad now. You're bad now. You're stomping hard.
So this is even if you have insurance with your job?
No, just the marketplace.
Just the marketplace.
Because see, your job don't have to report nothing to nobody. Only healthcare.gov do. The one that they formerly called Obamacare.
Oh.
Use it and make it benefit you.
Now that, you know what? This why she just graduated with that MBA. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
So, and
I know I'm never entitled to a refund on my own. Somebody got to help me get one.
yeah.
I got my little $1,200 because I got $100 a month I didn't use for 12 months.
Mm.
But guess what? On the flip side of that, if you owe money, that will help you pay your debt equally as well.
Whew. Okay, wow, that's some. And I know you probably got a lot of stuff on your list. But I got. Can I ask another question?
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
absolutely.
So like we said, we're living in the day and time where a lot of people are not wanting to work a regular 9 to 5.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people now who are investing in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, and I know the tax laws are changing towards cryptocurrencies faster than we could blink. But then also I know, like I do forex, foreign exchange, and I'm doing that. So what can you tell me about taxes for that and so forth and so on?
That's on the list anyway, so you're doing good. Bitcoin was on our list. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a fast market right now with the virtual wallets and all of this stuff. Back in the day, there was not a non-traceable side to that because the government could not put their hand into that at all. So people made a lot of money off of it. They came up with the idea to say, hey, look, somebody making too much money. Now we got to figure out how we going to get involved in this money. So as of this year, they are forcing companies, and everybody hasn't gotten on board yet, but they're forcing companies to have a tax form generated for that. And you're going to be writing that off just like stock. You're going to be on 8949. You're going to be doing it just like stock. And you're going to have all the information to do it. Now, last year, a girl came in here, 21 years old, doing day trading. She made about $2,500, $3,000. But she had about 7 pages of Excel spreadsheets on all the stuff she had traded. Well, that made no sense to me. So I'm like, okay, I done looked at this for an hour. I called her back. I said, hey, look, little girl, I need you back in here. I need you to explain every line. She knew every line. She logged in her virtual wallet, Once she could tell me what she did with every piece, I knew how to key it. She got a little money off of it. I'm like, okay. But if you really research Bitcoins, it is a property, just like a living room suit. It is not money. Look it up. It's money. It's not money.
No.
It's a property. It's your living room suit for real. And that's why the government had no regulations on that. And they didn't know how to regulate it. So now they're coming up with an 8949 and they forcing these companies to actually give you a tax document for all the trading you're doing. Now, every company is not on board yet, but everybody going to have to be on board. Now they got a company out here. Let's say if you bring me those spreadsheets, it's a company that I could drop that spreadsheet into, and they're going to create the tax form for you.
Mm.
So other people done got involved in it. It's not as seamless as it used to be, and it's not as clear cut as it used to be, because what they're doing is taking it and you putting it in a virtual wallet. You taking it from here, you buying a hamburger at the McDonald's, and it's going from property to money back to property. It's just flipping back and forth. So now they're putting regulations on it, and everybody who doing it wrong gonna get got. They gonna get.
Because
Is
what I
is this the same as like your Cash App and your PayPal's and all of
No.
that?
Mm.
Oh,
No, this is virtual currency that people don't really. People who like to trade know about it, but it's really considered virtual currency.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like what I do is like with Cash App, I'll use Cash App, I'll purchase Bitcoin, but then I'll use that Bitcoin to fund my trading wallet so I can do my
Right.
forex trading.
Right,
So like you say, I'll buy Bitcoin and then once it gets into my wallet, I convert it back to currency.
right,
So that I can do my forex trading.
right. And when you do the conversion, you got to start looking for your tax form. They should be sending you an 8949. If they not, be on the lookout.
wow. And so that would apply to everything you did in 2021
Yes.
or 2022?
21.
Oh,
Some of the stuff
21.
gonna jump out in 2022. This year gonna be ready for next year, but all of that virtual currency is tying up now. It came up for 2021. They government want their share of it. People made a lot of money off of that with no taxes being paid.
Yeah. From my understanding, you had the most millionaires created
You did.
In the last year, the past couple of years, due to
Virtual
blockchain,
currency.
you know, the virtual currency.
Virtual
So that's a lot of money that they're not getting.
Yes.
Because, for example, my broker that I trade with is a foreign broker, so they're not reporting anything to the IRS. You know, but of course, when I make a withdrawal from my account and it goes to the bank, once it hits the bank then sends something to the IRS saying,
That's
"Hey,
right.
you just made a deposit of this amount."
That's
Now
right.
we got to say why. You know, what was that?
So now you see how they got you. Because
Mhm.
once you traded in here, the banks has to tell it. Because they
And
calling it money laundering.
yeah. Now let me ask this question: Did President Biden decrease the amount that the threshold where the bank has to notify the IRS of a transaction?
That's still in motion. That has not yet finalized is what they actually gonna do with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is the amount?
Different banks do a lot. Let me tell you, this how crazy it was. I went to a bank to put money in my $200, y'all, no money into my brother's account. They would not let me do it because it was cash money.
I just had somebody else have that same problem.
And I said, why? She said, because that's money laundering, ma'am. I said, it's $200, ma'am. It ain't $2 million. I don't look rich when I walk there. I got on a raggedy shirt. I don't know what you want me to do. But if I had wrote a check, they would have taken it.
They don't take cash no more? What is that?
Money laundering is very big, and that's what they basing this on, this virtual currency in this wallets. So that's how bad it has gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So it used to be like, I know before, it used to be like, for example, some banks, you can deposit up to $9,999.
Yeah.
And it won't trigger anything to the IRS. But from my understanding, what they're trying to put in motion now, if you deposit $600.
Well, that's a bit different because that's gonna run into your Cash App and your Venmos and all of that. So here's the real on that now. Because Cash App was truly made, and this Venmo and all this PayPal was truly made for businesses. So what they have learned is that all of these small businesses is collecting all of this money, not reporting a dime to the IRS or reporting half, and they know it. So if it's in a company name, because you had to have at least 200 transactions and $20,000 for you to get a tax document. Some people go all the way to 199 transactions and stop because you have to have both. It can't be one or the other. You have to have the whole 20,000 and 200 transactions. But if you smart enough to stop at 180 transactions, you don't get a tax document. Now, I done made $80,000, but I didn't meet both rules, so I don't have to report my money.
Mm.
And that's why they're lowering it, so they can tax everybody. Now, here's a trick to that. I always got a trick for you.
Come on, talk to me.
On that Cash App,
Mm-hmm.
you know how you put the person name up top, and that second line say for?
Mm-hmm.
Put a description there. Baby new shoes. Next meal out. If it does not appear to be a business transaction, it cannot go against that $600.
So is $600 for the whole year?
Yeah.
Or 600?
No, for the whole year.
For the whole year?
Yes, ma'am.
If you move more than $600 after that point, hey, they notify the IRS of all your dealings.
That's right. You're going to get that 1099 in the mail anyway. You're going to get that 1099 for business transactions, and now you're going to be filing a business return, and you don't need to. So people going to have to stop using this stuff.
This your personal Cash App too?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
oh, wow.
Everybody wasn't smart enough to put Cash App in a business name.
So if I'm sending money back and forth, me and Alisa and Lorraine, and I get up to sending them or her, sending one of them $600. Mm-hmm. Anything after that, they're gonna be
you the sender and them the receiver.
And both of us?
Yes, ma'am. The money done transferred hands.
So
instead of you sending her cash,
they want to know my income based on what I send them.
You gonna get that tax document because you moving that money around. Instead of doing that, meet on the corner and get them people that money and keep it moving. Stop it. I mean, yes.
Oh my God, but it's so simple. It's so simple just to cash up at least $20.
But it do a lot of stuff for us. It makes us lazy. It makes us lazy, number one. Number two, it makes us not be aware of what we're doing, because anytime somebody say, I need something, we drop a Cash App.
I sure do.
They know they can get it quick with a Cash App. Now, this year, nobody going to get this Cash App form, but next year, everybody going to get it because they running for 2022. So everything you do this year, be mindful
about Cash App.
About your Cash App. You're going to get a 1099 that's going to say you running a business.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Unless we put in the transaction.
You got to make it
not
the Cash App got some. Yeah, right. And I think I sent you that too. The Cash App got the description of what categories will not be taxed to you. Go out there and research your Cash App. They tell you exactly. That's why I say descriptive, because if it appears to be any kind of business transaction, you're going to pay for it.
Wow. So from now on, baby need a new pair of shoes.
It's something. Yeah.
Wow. Light bill due.
Yeah, because I can't stop you from sending money, but I can stop you from running a business and not paying taxes on it.
Well, mine is, so if I usually send at least some money because she be done stopped and got me something to eat. Now, are they gonna say that she delivered?
That's Uber Eats. That's Uber Eats right there. You better.
Uber Eats.
They changing theirs too, though. Uber Eats is changing theirs too, because they're gonna actually go into sending document. They again was 200 transactions and $20,000. Lyft was that same thing. Uber Eats was the same thing. Uber was the same thing. All of them reducing. They gonna get it. They're gonna send you that tax document. You might not want all them documents. Now that's gonna make y'all have to file a lot of business returns you don't want to do.
No, I mean I gotta call Auntie V. That's what I gotta do. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. What you talking about?
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a whole trip.
Yeah. That it's getting bad. It's getting
And I say that because you have a lot of young people who start businesses, and they're on Instagram and all these different sites, and they're making business transactions, they're doing businesses and so forth and so on, and they're getting paid. So now with these new laws coming out, they're not aware
they're gonna
that
be paying
cash out.
taxes on stuff, right?
Yeah,
They're gonna be paying. What if it's through the bank? What you mean through the bank, Fritz? He said, "What if it's through the bank? The Venmo gonna do the same thing because that's a business transaction. You gotta label it as well.
it's still going. Yeah, the bank is automatically going to do it.
So,
Whereas,
but if you, I think maybe he's saying like bank to bank, like
Bank to bank, no, it's not gonna be no difference from bank to bank.
okay,
You could do a bank transfer for free, for nothing, no cost, no form, no nothing. It's still gonna be just a bank transfer.
okay.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna tag it if I send her $10,000 in the bank.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get taxed as soon as you key that in the line. They gonna click.
At least gonna be like, send it on, send it on.
Oh yeah, they gonna get you as soon as you do that real quick. Like, so that's not gonna change the dynamics right now. Now that 10,000, a new car, you go pay cash for all that gets reported immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so no, that large amount definitely gonna
wait. Hold on, back up. So I pay cash for a car.
How
They
much?
gonna report.
How much?
Let's just say you buy a car cash.
How much?
Okay, let's say you pay say $20,000 for a car cash.
You got reported.
I don't like the way you said that though. When you say I got reported, what does that really mean?
That means that when you pay cash for a car at that value, the car lot itself reported to the government that the feds and everybody else that this person gave us this kind of money up front. Now, you're right, Francis. If it comes from the bank, it's different. But if you walk in and give them people cash, check. Now, if you do a bank transfer, nothing, because they saw the account it came from. The reason it's reported otherwise, they don't know where the money came from because you just walked in with it.
But what if now I've been working hard on TV. I've been working hard. And from every one of my paychecks, I put a few dollars, under the mattress. And all of a sudden my mattress got too big where I couldn't really sleep on it because it had a big lump in it.
All right.
So I had to do something with some of that money. So I got some of that money out from underneath the mattress. And I said, you know what? I want me a new car. You know what I mean? So I went stumping with the big dog down to the car lot to get this new car.
Okay.
They say where I got that money from. I said I worked for it.
And then they say prove it. They're not gonna say anything, and all they're gonna do is report it to the feds that, hey, this man walked in here with this kind of money. Can somebody look into him? That's all gonna happen to you. Now, if you take that money from under the mattress and you put that money in your bank, but you can't put it in that large sums like that because they're gonna look at you.
So how much can I put in the bank at one time without them looking at me?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I don't have an answer for it. Because my $200 got jacked up, remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm putting it into my account.
I know. But they're gonna call it money laundering. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. That's what that's gonna be called. So your best thing was every payday, just let your little $200 go to your savings account and let it build up over there. So then when you go to buy this car, hey, Mr. Bank, give me a cashier's check for $20,000. It came from the bank. When you go to pay for this car, nobody gonna ask you a question because you got a bank check.
Yeah. Now let me say this for the record, just so people be clear. I don't have that kind of cash. I'm not Floyd Mayweather. I don't have that kind. I was just asking a question.
You just was asking a general question.
Yeah, I'm here paying cash for a Lamborghini.
I know.
Yeah. I don't want nobody. Besides, I don't want nobody looking at me like, "Oh, he got that kind of cash." No, seriously. Lord knows, I don't have that kind of cash. Listen. A lot of times I don't even have cash anymore. The credit card and all that stuff. That's what I use. So just FYI.
That's what most people are doing actually.
Yeah.
I said we're gonna run out of time. Let me run to two quick things.
Okay.
One thing that's big and new and is very important to most people right now is the ID Me account through the IRS.gov. What that does is that is trying to eliminate identity theft. Is trying to keep people from taking your identity, looking at your stuff, and all kind of stuff. The ID Me account is actually, when you go to irs.gov and do /ID Me, you have to upload your driver's license. You have to do a selfie of yourself. It takes about 3 minutes. You create a username and password, and what that does is that you always can look into your own IRS life with that username and password. You can log in, you can see everybody who reported income under you, you can see every tax return you ever filed, you can see everything about your life. It's your life, and it does never go away. So let's say somebody, you buy a house and somebody asks you for a transcript, log into your account, print out your own transcript. It's already sitting there. Unemployment has done the same thing because unemployment fraud was so big and identity theft was so big. They did the same ID Me. You cannot log into your unemployment now without them sending you a PIN code. Everything is going directly to your cell phone. All of it is tied directly to you. So people can't just steal your stuff as easily with these accounts, especially when you set up the ID Me accounts. They ping you if somebody try to go into anything. Everybody could do this for their own IRS life, irs.gov/ID Me. And they could all do it themselves. And all you got to do is create your own ID Me account. Keep up with your own stuff. You can look at it as often as you want to, every day if you want to. But your ID, your picture going to be there. Your ID is loaded. And now you can look at your own IRS life. You don't have to worry about what's out there on you. You'll be able to see it yourself. That's big, and that's going to be good for people to actually do. Just take the time and do it. It's going to keep the identity theft down from you. And that's one of the things that they're working on. One of the other things was the stimulus money. Please do not try to file your tax return without reporting that $1,400. If you did not get the last $1,400, you can get it in this year's tax return. But if you put it on there that you didn't get it, and then people say you got it, they're going to tie you up and audit you. But if you create the ID Me account, you can look out there and tell whether you got it or not. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need all of these as factors to actually help you out to make sure you report the stimulus. A lot of stimulus is going by the wayside when it comes to the people that got a divorce from last year to this year. Now they're giving a document to him and one to her, and both of them is responsible to split the debt. So you have to, no one person no longer is going to be liable for it, even with a divorce now. So both persons will get a form and say, hey, you got to file this part, she got to file that part. So that's going to be pretty big with people. The last and the biggest thing that's going on is you're going to hear people talk about the look back. It's not what it's really called, but that's what y'all black people always give it new names. And we named it the look back. We don't know why. It's really called the Rescue Recovery credit. It's a new credit out there that is going to help these people with children. So here's a.
Here we go with these kids again.
Here's an outlandish one that really benefit them. Let's say Marvin filed in 2019. He had 2 kids on a tax return. This year, he had a job back then. So this year, Marvin is on Social Security disability, right? But Marvin got a little $3,000. Now he's still entitled to the other $3,000, so he still should do a tax return to get his other $3,000. Don't let him keep your money because you still got $3,000 out there to get for your second child. Well, Marvin don't have nothing but Social Security. Okay, he come to me. I say, okay, give me your Social Security statement. Give me your 6419. I take both of those because the recovery rebate credit is going to allow me to go back and pull information from his 2019 tax return, put on his 2021 to allow him to get about $8,000 or $9,000. And he ain't worked day and day.
Wow.
So that is one of the credits that nobody heard on the news. Ain't nobody talking about it. But that's the best one to try to get your dollar out of. It's the legalest one out there. And it's giving it to them no income. But let's say they work 2019. It's going to look back again. It's going back down. You made $28,000 in 2019. You made $15,000 in 2021. I'm gonna go back and take the credit from 2019, get you the earned income credit for 2021, and put it on this tax return, and let you get that big money all over again. I know you looking confused, Lisa.
But
No,
what if my kid,
I'm
my
like,
kid,
I ain't really confused. I'm just like, man, I need some dependents.
No, you don't. I'm keep telling you, don't do it. Don't do it.
my
But
kids,
the problem with people doing this one is that they putting the wrong numbers in the wrong places. You really got to know how to do this one to actually do it. If you really don't, please don't play with it. Go to somebody who do know how to play with it.
go to on TV.
So you could get your money, because otherwise you're going to cause yourself an audit again by doing the wrong thing. The program tell you, hey, we need this information, but it don't tell you what line to take it from on 2019. It just tell you go to 2019 to get some information, but it don't tell you where to get it from. So what people are doing now, I see, is taking the W-2 from 2019, weekend it in 2021 and think they're doing right. And they causing that big old audit. They're not doing right. So yeah. Marvin, what else you got? Because your brain turning. It's fast too.
No, I have some questions, but I heard somebody say 10 o'clock. So I heard somebody say 10 o'clock.
My husband sitting back here talking to you, talking about, I heard somebody say 10 o'clock.
Yeah. He's like, look, you ain't got to go home, but we got to get up out of here. So, yeah, listen, Lisa, no, you know what? We just go schedule our one-on-one.
Okay.
Can we talk?
Yes.
Anybody want a one-on-one, just go to the website, jackandot.com. There's a consultation page out there. Book it. You pick your own time, and that's how we talk.
Here we go. Let me see if I can find. You got it, Jamal? The website for
jackandot.com is the website. Yeah. Go to that website, and then go up under a book online, and you pull out consultation, and that's where you pick your own time to talk.
Okay. jackandot.com. We got you. Lock it in.
This has been like so.
They better lock it in. They're going to need help this year, Marvin. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so one last question on TV. So for those of us who do own businesses, there's a different deadline to file than the regular April 15th. Is that correct?
For those of you who own a corporation and file a corporation, you must file that by March 15th of every year. A federal tax return is by April 15th, unless the government extended like usual, but April 15th. The other part to that is that if you have a corporation, and in most states, there is an annual renewal that you have to do before May the 1st of every year. If you do it May the 2nd, it's a $400 additional dollars.
Yeah, you don't want to pay that.
And you don't want to pay that.
And then the next month is $700. So it keeps growing.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to
do that. Is that for also for nonprofits as well? To
nonprofit, either you're going to do a 990 or 990N. The 990Ns now is an online basis for questions asked. You don't need nobody to help you do that. You really go online and do your own 990N, and they have 4 good old sweet questions out there on that new one. And they have streamlined a lot of those. They're trying to make it easy on you. But if you are an organization that makes over $200,000, all that kind of money, now you got to do loan form. Now you need help with that one. But the 990N is a base nonprofit. You don't need help with that. They send you that in email. Log right into that account they gave you. The 3 questions, click submit, and you're done. You don't owe anybody. They don't give you anything. You don't owe anybody. That's a simpler one. Yeah.
And that needs one big misconception by March 15th.
March 15th. Another big misconception. People think that they could get a refund on a corporation. They cannot. Not unless they pay taxes into it. They can't get any refund out of it. Only federal tax returns allow you to refund.
All righty. Well, this was
Marvin. Whole head still turning. He looking like, what's next?
Boy, I tell you, you done took me here, you done took me there. Joy and pain. That's our sunshine and rain. Boy, I tell you.
And so you're saying even next year or the 2022, is gonna be even more than what we're doing right now.
Yeah, because they're gonna put more laws in place for 2022. You're gonna have to really worry about the Cash App. You're really gonna have to worry about the PayPal and the Venmos, whether you didn't get tax documents for the past 20 years. You're gonna get a 1099K with those. They also trying to force churches to do a 1099K too on your tithe and offering.
Wow.
Mhm. They was out about 4 years ago. It lasted 1 year and it dropped off. Churches just didn't comply. But they're going to do a forced comply on that too at some point.
Wow.
Hamburger, can we talk?
I don't know. It looked like Auntie V looked like you're gonna have to come back because
It's just a
Yes.
lot of stuff out there that's happening and changing very, very fast.
It
I mean,
is.
and then we don't know, and we waiting on some, new things to come in now, and we got some forms that's not yet ready. And I'm looking at tax down like, hey, how that's not ready? That was last year. How we waiting on that this year? But you got a lot of that. And taxes started paying out as of tomorrow. The first tax returns pays out
Wow.
in 4 days.
Wow.
Wow.
If you e-file, that's your key. Electronically file it. That's gonna be the only way you get a quick result.
Yeah. Got to come back.
Yeah.
Francis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to come
And
back.
anybody got to send anything to the IRS this year, you should send it certified mail. Make them sign for it. Otherwise, it's gonna go in a bucket and it's never gonna get done.
Oh.
Certified
Even
mail,
with the
because you got a signature on it.
So did I hear correctly? Because y'all know I follow the news a little bit, not much. They're supposed to be hiring more auditors or more tax people.
Both. They didn't get enough tax people this year. They gonna have both. Jacksonville wants 300 more people right now. USAjobs.gov. No experience, 1675. Government job. Go out there and get that money. Unlimited overtime. What you got?
Wow. Woo. All right. So this has been Kitchen Talk CTC.
This conversation show is cooking. Conversation that cook. Glory to God.
This was like so serious. Like, yeah. We gotta talk about this again for real. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, by
I'm
mid-February,
glad
y'all
that
need to do
Auntie
this
B do
again.
my taxes. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is in your hands. Here go all my business.
Yeah, but you know what I actually do, Lisa, that makes it easier? I insure every tax return that I actually pay for. And this is why I actually do that, because I actually see how the industry is going and I see how people are just getting cased up so bad. So I have an errors and omission that whether you make the mistake or I make the mistake, the company pays the first $2,500 of the debt, no questions asked. The second part to that is that you get 1 year of identity theft with this insurance that I actually do. And the tax return is insured for 3 years. So I pay for this every year. This is a part of my insurance. To make it when you call me in a panic, hey, don't cry. We got some people over here who can fix this in a flash. They can't fix it. Your debt ain't big. No, we let them pay for it.
Wow.
It only costs me. It don't cost you nothing. So for me, it's easy to have a peace of mind because I look at it. If 100 people that I know get audited out, the 400 I do, I cannot do them all by myself. Not accurately.
Yeah.
So I pick somebody who can do them all because they got bigger staff than me.
Right.
And everybody get handled properly. Yeah.
See, this is what she talk about you need to know who doing your taxes. Somebody that care.
You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Marvin, by February, mid-February, you got to have some questions. I know they running around in the brain. I see them.
Oh yeah, you talking about mid-February?
Marvin's gonna get
Talking
on
about next week, by
and go to jackandot.com and schedule his consultation.
By tomorrow, he is ready. When you do a consultation, have your questions ready. Typically, if you got a business, have your EIN paperwork ready, the one where you go on the line and apply. Because what I typically do is explain all of the stuff on that EIN paperwork, so you'll know what you're really doing. Because it's 3 filing choices on that paperwork that people don't ever ask you about. So you got to know which one you want to do based on those 3. We talked about some of them, but there's still 3 choices on there. So you have that ready. I will ask you what kind of business you got. You give me some dynamics on that. And then you get to ask any question you want in your hour.
All right. Hamburger.
All right. So Kitchen Talk CTC.
Conversations that cook.
They do cook. So if you are watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Never miss another show. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit that like button. Join us, follow us, share all of that good stuff. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Thank you, Auntie V, Valencia, Cain, Jack and Dots, tax preparation, accounting, job, business consultant.
Payroll,
she do all of that.
bookkeeping, IT agent.
She do all of that.
Masters in accounting, business, a lot of stuff. Just a whole bunch. I'm gonna stop naming right there.
It's a lot of stuff. But the most important is that she care about what she's doing and she care about her clients. That's real business right there. Like if you find people like that, you might want to hang on to them. So I'm gonna hang on to my Auntie V because that's my girl. And that's what we're gonna do. Because I can't do it with nobody else at this point. No. So we thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're gonna get that book information up to you in just a little bit as soon as we get that date certain, so you can join the conversation with the author. And as we're book clubbing it, this and next week, we are going to celebrate or kick off the celebration of Black History Month. So come back, join that conversation. We are going to be super excited about that. We get to celebrate power to the people. So we will see you guys next week right here, same time, at 9:00 next Thursday right here. We appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you and good night.
Bye.